Imagine waking up tomorrow to news that changes everything. Not a missile launch. Not a border invasion. But something far more silent and far more deadly. A single miscalculation beneath the ocean's surface that brings two nuclear superpowers to the edge of catastrophe. What if I told you this almost happened, and the world never even knew? Today, we're diving into an incident that shocked naval commanders, triggered emergency protocols, and revealed just how thin the line is between peace and disaster. This is the story of how a Russian submarine made a move so reckless, so calculated, that it could have rewritten history in seconds. Before we go deeper, if you're someone who values real military insight, if you want to understand the conflicts that never make the evening news, then you need to hit that like button right now and subscribe to Military Conflict Lens. Your support in the first 60 seconds helps this channel grow and ensures we can keep bringing you the stories that matter, the ones hidden beneath the waves and behind classified doors. Let's get into it. It started like any other day in the vast expanse of international waters. A United States Navy surface vessel was conducting routine operations. Standard patrol. Standard surveillance. Nothing out of the ordinary. The crew was experienced, the mission was clear, and the ocean was calm. But calm surfaces often hide the most dangerous currents. And on this particular day, something was lurking below, something that would turn a routine mission into one of the most tense naval encounters in recent memory. Deep beneath the ship, moving through the cold dark water, a Russian submarine was operating in total silence. Submarine encounters between major powers happen more often than most people realize. They're part of the invisible chess game that navies play across the world's oceans every single day. But this encounter was different. This wasn't going to be a simple pass-by or a distant observation. Here's what most people don't understand about submarine warfare. You don't need weapons to create danger. Proximity alone can be lethal. Submarines are massive, heavy, and operate with limited visibility. They rely on sonar, charts, and experience to navigate. When two vessels get too close underwater, the risk of collision skyrockets. And a collision between a nuclear-powered submarine and a surface ship isn't just an accident. It's a potential international crisis. Hundreds of lives could be lost in seconds. Radioactive material could be released. And two nations with thousands of nuclear warheads would be forced to respond. The Russian submarine kept coming. It maneuvered in a way that suggested it was trying to slip into the ship's sonar blind spot, an area directly below the hull where detection is weakest. This is an aggressive tactic, one that experienced submariners avoid unless absolutely necessary. It's risky. It's provocative. And in this case, it was reckless. Analysts would later describe this as the fatal move. Not fatal in the sense that lives were lost, but fatal in judgment. One miscalculation, one error in depth control, one unexpected wave, and everything could have gone wrong. The US Navy had seconds to decide how to respond. There's a doctrine for moments like this. De-escalate when possible. Assert control when necessary. Never lose composure. The American ship adjusted course slightly, a signal that said we see you, we're aware, and we're ready. At the same time, anti-submarine warfare systems went to full alert. Helicopters were prepped on deck. Torpedoes were not armed, but crews were standing by. This wasn't about starting a fight. It was about making sure the other side understood the stakes. And then came the response that changed everything. The US ship released a controlled active sonar pulse. If you've ever heard what that sounds like underwater, you know it's unmistakable. It's loud, powerful, and impossible to ignore. This was. No shots were fired. No alarms were sounded in the media. No breaking news alerts lit up smartphones around the world. To the public, nothing happened. But to the sailors involved, to the naval commanders reviewing the incident, and to the intelligence analysts trying to understand why it happened, this was a serious event. Because the real question wasn't what happened. It was why. Why would a Russian submarine commander take such a risk? Some analysts believe it was a deliberate test. An attempt to probe U.S. reaction times, to see how quickly American forces would respond, and to gather intelligence on sonar capabilities. Others think it was a show of force, a way of saying we're here, we're capable, and we're not afraid. But there's a third possibility, one that's even more troubling. Human error. Fatigue. Overconfidence. Misjudgment. Even the most elite submarine crews can make mistakes, and in the underwater environment, mistakes can be fatal. What makes this incident especially significant is the broader context. Right now, US and Russian naval forces are operating closer to each other than they have in decades. From the North Atlantic to the Pacific, from the Arctic to the Mediterranean, submarines are shadowing ships, testing boundaries, and playing a high-stakes game that the public rarely sees. Each encounter carries the potential for miscalculation. And unlike airspace violations, which can be photographed and broadcast, submarine incidents happen in silence, in darkness, and often without any public record. That's why Military Conflict Lens exists. To shine a light on the conflicts and confrontations that shape global security but never make the front page. These underwater encounters matter just as much as visible wars. They test alliances. They reveal intentions. The thermal layer in this sector and they remind us that modern warfare isn't always about firepower. It's about restraint, discipline, and decision-making under pressure. The lessons from this incident are clear. First, the rules of engagement at sea are more fragile than most people realize. Second, even in peacetime, the risk of accidental escalation is real. And third, the most dangerous battles are often the ones that never happen. The US Navy and the Russian submarine both walked away from this encounter. But the next time, the outcome might be different. As global tensions continue to rise, these close-call encounters will only become more frequent.
What's the threat level on approach?
Every time they do, the margin for error gets smaller. Every captain, every sonar operator, every decision-maker knows that one wrong move could change everything. And that's why stories like this matter, even if they don't trend on social media, even if they don't dominate news cycles. They are warnings. Quiet, serious, and impossible to ignore. So here's my question for you. Do you think these encounters are calculated shows of strength, carefully planned to send a message without crossing the line? Or are they accidents waiting to happen, moments where human error and geopolitical tension mix into something deadly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your perspective matters. If this story opened your eyes to the silent battles happening beneath the ocean, then share this video with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to stay connected with Military Conflict Lens, because we'll keep bringing you the deep, realistic analysis of the conflicts shaping our world, from the shadows, from the depths, and from the places most people never look.